Good morning. Today is the 23rd of December 2024 and I'm going to go through my trade plan and review some charts today. Before we do, let's see what news could move the market. We had medium impact news at 8:30 and what do we see? And we've got consumer confidence coming in at 10 AM, so just be wary of that if you're in a trade and there's not much for the rest of the day. Remember, tomorrow's a half day, so we've got some news in the morning at 8:30 and then it's an early close. I think it's, I'm not sure it says 9 o'clock here, but probably won't be trading tomorrow on a half day. Okay, so on my screen we are looking at the ES and we're looking at the 1 hour time frame. So we've had that big move down on the FOMC day, Wednesday, and then we had a second day where we saw some full continuation of that move down, and we've seen a bit come back. I'm sure there's not really any great levels. I've not looked at the charts. This is the first time I've really looked at charts. I'm going to review them and bring up some levels at the same time. So basically I quite like the break and retest of pre-market low, this region here, and that is at 59.83 for this continuation back down. We can target yesterday's low, and then for the break and retest of pre-market high, even though we had this big move down, we could keep an eye on two moves here: break and retest long out of that area, and then we can potentially look for a rejection in that area as well. So bear in mind it's a short week this week, so we may not see the same amount of volume in the market. Looking at the volume on the left hand side, we're in a bit of a volume void right here at the moment, so there's no more volume until we get up into this region up here, and this is an area to watch for a rejection if we do get up to 6100 down to 6115, 6120 area. And I say I'll keep it really simple today. So we've got the break and retest of pre-market low, we've got the break and retest long of pre-market high, but we can also watch this region here for a rejection as well. That's Friday's high. So it's going to be hard to go long, so just bear that in mind. Maybe more of a scalp. It is against the hourly trend a bit. We were putting in lower, you can see this trend we were putting in all of last week, and then we finally gave it all up. So, and then we can watch this 6120, 6115 area for potential rejection, and that's really what I'm watching for. And then bounces, the next bounce area is not to get down to this 5800 area, and that's when we had that big reaction beginning in November. And I think that's it. I was away Thursday and Friday, so I didn't really get a chance to review the charts. I was away in London, and obviously we had this reaction on Wednesday, and I didn't really get to discuss the charts the next day because I wasn't trading, I wasn't around. But just before we do that, let's just see where the fibs takes us. Oh, that's the wrong indicator. 1 second, my fibs indicator is that one. Just see whether we're up to the 50% mark. That area there. So looking at the hourly candle, so kind of we came into that 50% fibs area from that so that FOMC move, drop down. Let's just do it all the way down to here. See whether there's anything of interest. No, not really. Maybe we got the 618. One second. Here we go. Okay, so that's more interesting. You see, excuse me, this big move down, and then we pulled back up into the 618 area where we've rejected, came back down, came back up, retested it, and then dropped down. And that's basically this entire move down. So it's just to give you an idea where we could see potential rejections. Also a bit of an area of confidence as well. Volume starting to come into that area, but that's not until we get up to here. So 6100 is an area to keep an eye on if we do see some market bulls, and if we see a bit of a sell-off, then we can watch this region for a bounce. As I said, there's not really any great levels as it is, because we had just such a big move. It hasn't really put in any decent areas of confluence, and it's taken out potentially all of these areas of confluence we would have originally been watching. So 5800 for the bounce, 5900 we can watch that psychological number for another bounce. Break and retest of pre-market low into this region, break and retest long, pre-market high 60.28, and then we could watch Friday's high for potential rejection back down as well. And then we've got this region up here, which is an area we've been watching for some time. This region 61.20 for a rejection, and I think that's pretty much the only areas I'll be watching. Probably going to trade, only going to play A+ setups today, so really have to be a good setup for me to take it. I'd rather go into Christmas with no trades than go into it with some red trades. So let's look at SPY next. SPY, we can watch same areas as before. We've got this potential rejection area we've been watching as well. So 595, where's that? Okay, we've got an area of confluence at that point. So watch this area, 595, area for rejection. Break and retest of the pre-market low short, 589.35, and then we've got this area down here we can watch for the bounce, and that's 579, 578 area. And that's just looking at the volume, you can see there's an area of confluence there as well, so that's probably why we bounced there originally. Okay, so that's the areas to watch on SPY. I'm going to quickly flick over to SPX, see what levels we're on. There's a bit of divergence on the order flow right now, which I can just go to in a second. So SPX, we are looking at same areas as ES. So we've got the rejection here at 60.34, 60.30. Rejection at Friday's high 6,000 is a psychological number. So this region here is a rejection area. And then we can watch for bounces down at Friday's low, and then we've got some levels marked out. See how they coincide. So areas of confluence there. You see areas of confluence, gap fill, areas of confluence. So it's not really a decent level there. I think the next level is going to be this region here. So let's mark that up, which is Friday's high. And get rid of that one because that's probably gone now. And what I'm looking for is multiple touches of pivots and bodies of candles. And with this region here potentially happens to be where we came into the low today, pre-market low. Yesterday's low as well. I meant Friday's low, and that's it really. We can keep an eye on these major areas. NQ. Well, we've definitely broken that trend now on the NQ, you can see that. You could argue that we are putting in an inverse head and shoulders. I noticed that on ESL as well. You could say that this is the left shoulder, the head. Are we putting in a right shoulder here? And if so, we could potentially look for break and retest long. But we've broken the down, there's been a change of state of the market right now. So we've broken this structure or change of structure. And I'll look at that for a bounce point. This is a level we've had in place for some time, and look where we came in. What day was that? Friday. I wasn't even around Friday, and it came right into that level. So that's why I always like to keep old historic levels in place. Bounce area, that's a pivot there. Areas of confluence, pivot there, and look where we bounced. And we had that massive move out. What time would that have been? Pre-market, so probably wouldn't have traded it. But we had that big move up on Friday. So the only place I can see for a rejection will be this region here, 2200 psychological number. We can watch for the break and retest of pre-market high, pre-market low, and then we can probably keep an eye on this area of confluence. Yes, on Friday's low, 21,200, and then QQQ. Again, we've got this level, we've got this big volume shelf as well. So pre-market high You could say that's a rejection area if we can't get above it. We are looking for a rejection area in this zone, so maybe pre-market high 522 to 521 is a rejection. Otherwise, if we lose pre-market low, break and retest down, and watch for the bounces at 506, 501 area. That's previous areas of confluence. Notice the pivots, we've yet to get down to that area, so that's a bounce area at 501. And I think that's it really. And if we come into this region, 527 to 528 is a rejection area. Big zone. It was our demand zone, now it's our supply zone. And we've got the moving average just curving across around there as well. CL, this is oil. Pretty much same levels we've been looking at. We've put in a new level Friday, point of control, so we can mark that up as a potential bounce area. Let's mark that up now, and that's at 68.50 area. We are putting in this downtrend at the moment, depends where you want to see. Pivot's probably there. It's hard to trade when it's in this range, so we really want to get out of this boxed area, this range. So, but if we break over pre-market high, let's watch for a break and retest of 70, or watch for a break and retest of 69 short. Again, nice, easy, simple setups today. A plus setups only. On gold, we're holding this trend line, even though we did break through it briefly here, but we are still holding it. It's a zone, not a line, and we're coming into this area of confluence where we've got tops of candles and bottoms of candles. So let's watch for a break and retest of pre-market high to break out that area. Otherwise, we're looking for a rejection within this area, and that's 2660 to 2643, 2650. And then we can watch these levels down here for a bounce, 2600 psychological number. RTY, again, same as the other stocks we've been watching, ES and NQ. Potentially an inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's not very well drawn. Where would I find a bounce point? About there. Just a rough idea for a bounce. If we come back down to 22, 24, watch out for a bounce. 2200, there's no real levels there. There's a little bit of a volume spike there as well, but we're right in the point of control area right now. So we're either going to reject it, so watch for a rejection up on the pre-market high area, back down, and if we do finally get through it, break and retest along. Again, the only area I can watch as well, we've got this area here, 2340, which I'm going to mark up as well as a rejection. So keep an eye on 2340 rejection, big area of confluence, tops of pivots, bottoms of pivots. We've yet to come back to retest that, so if we get back up into that region, I do quite like that for the rejection. YM, let's have a look. So we've got right in this area of confluences here. That's not where I drew it. Back down here, this region here, which is pretty much where we bounced into pre-market today. So let's watch for a bounce down here. Tops of candles, bottoms of candles, and then bottoms of candles. So it's a big area to watch for. I'm not sure where my profile, volume profile has gone. Let's just refresh that page. Here we go. So the volume profile is back. Point of control is literally right at pre-market break and retest. So if we do a break and retest, a pre-market low on YM, then we do have this big volume shelf, and it's the point of control right immediately below. So it's going to be quite hard to get through that area. So bear that in mind if we're looking for that continuation play. This is a beautiful definition of a downtrend, putting in lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, all the way down, and then I quite like a big sell-off coming back into that region. We can watch for a rejection. Excuse me, 44,000 is our rejection area, and psychological number as well. And then finally Bitcoin. Oh wow, look at that, 96, 95 that's dropped down to. Let's look at this on the daily. I'll be honest with you, I was having a little bit of FOMO last week when, you know, I took my outs, well, you know, I've been adding into this and then I've been taking out profits. Took out profits right, I think I took profits up there. And obviously when I started watching it push up into the 108 area, I was thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't have taken out so much. Still got a third or a quarter of what I got out left. And I've been adding to it a little bit by here every day as well. But I must admit, when it was up here at 108 area, I was thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have taken out. But, you know, I read the volume right. It's volume, take out on volume spikes, and that volume spike there. And that's where my outs were. And obviously I added when there was not as much volume and was in this big pattern, adding on the dips, selling on the rips. So let's just analyse this, see what we've got. We've got this area confluence just there. You can see it quite clearly. Let's mark the bottoms of those candles, about there. And the reason I say that, you got tops of all these pivots before we broke out, and we retested it, retested it, retested it. We're still in, technically we may have just broken that daily uptrend, but we need to confirm, you know, if we're just putting in a sideways, we're not really broken. We want to see it break down, come back up, retest that area to confirm a downtrend in Bitcoin. We're nowhere near a downtrend just yet, so let's not get too carried away. However, we can watch this area 91 area, 92, 500 for a bounce, where we've bounced several times previously. And then if we get back down here, 73 area, 75, I'll be looking to add back in again, because I'll be looking for the bounce off of these pivots. And that's it. And obviously, if you're looking for day trading, the only place I can see is that bounce area or the break of this trend, break and retest of pre-market high. You know, we're putting in this could be the changing of trend, putting in the low, then putting in a higher low, another higher low. But so we need to break out over that pivot as well to continue this uptrend. That's it really. Nothing really much to get too excited about today. It's going to be a short week. Let's just flick over to order flow. There was a bit of a divergence, you can see that right now. You can see, let's have a look at pen. You can see price was going upwards, all looks okay. Price is coming down, looks okay. And then we've got this big push up on cumulative delta, and we've got this smaller push up here. But the difference is we've taken out the highs, we've not nowhere near taken out the highs there. So a little bit of an anomaly, a bit of a divergence. There's nothing really to look up on the order flow, nothing really exceptional. So that's it. So just trade safe. I may not be around tomorrow for the Christmas Eve pre-market video. I'll still have the live order flow running, but I may not be around to do this. I'm going to try and take some time off this week, and I'll try and keep the order flow live as well. But any problems, just message me in the order flow chat. I may not be monitoring it constantly, but I will see a message. I'll get back to you. Okay, appreciate everyone, and if I don't speak to everyone before, have a Merry Christmas.